It's all in me. It's all there, you know. I can talk like that if I want to. I might start talking Irish. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is James.
And I'm Kimmie.
And today we are looking at our Ancestry DNA results.
So we've been wanting to do this Ancestry DNA for a really long time, but we've been a bit skeptical of whether the results are real and how it works and how accurate it is.
Exactly. So this video isn't actually sponsored by Ancestry DNA. We did it ourselves and we actually tried to throw them off the scent of how they could actually fine-tune our DNA results. So do you want to explain to them what we did?
So in order to really know it's real, we tried to throw them off the scent as much as we could, because you're very traceable. With your name, they could probably guess your DNA.
The thing is, my mum had already done an Ancestry DNA, so I knew that the minute I did mine, it would match me to my mum and the results would come out very similar to hers.
Yeah.
So for me, because I was born here, it would be very easy to find my records and find my mum, as she's already done it. But for Kimmie, we thought, how can we throw them off the scent and not just look for her name and say, oh, this looks like an African name. Let's give her an English name and see what happens.
So my last name is Kiimmy, as a lot of you know, and as soon as you type that into Google, it'll tell you I'm Kenyan. So I thought that's a bit too easy. If they typed in my name, they'll start telling me I'm Kenyan, and I already know I am. So what I did is we created an English name for me. What did you create?
It was Kimberly Claire Hobbs.
Yeah, we put Kimberly Hobbs first, and then they asked for a middle name because they started getting pop-ups of Americans and people from all different places. So we thought, let's give her a middle name. So we went for Claire. So it was Kimberly Claire Hobbs. And just from hearing the name Hobbs, they started suggesting where the name comes from because it's English and all of that. So I was so excited to see what results they come up with.
The interesting thing is we submitted our results at the same time. And I got mine back within weeks. Kimmie's took a heck of a long time to get her results in, and that is at that point where we thought, okay, maybe this doesn't work, maybe this isn't a real thing, maybe it's just fabricated. They know all of your relatives that have done it, so they just put you together and just give you a rough idea of where you're from based on the people in your family that have done it. We knew nobody in Kenya, because Kimmie's born in Kenya, will have done the Ancestry DNA, especially from Kimmie's family. So we thought, when the results took weeks upon weeks upon weeks, at that point we doubted it very, very much. It
took so long, and at one point they sent me 2 birth certificates to ask whether this is me. One was someone English and the other one was someone American. Yeah. And I thought, yeah, they ain't got this. They ain't got this. And I remember I was making a video for an update and it went a little like this. Trying so hard.
And they made a few
to
errors.
Find a birth record of me. Yeah. I feel like they're not spending enough time analysing my actual DNA to prove where me and my ancestors are from. They're just trying to trace where I was born, to try and find my parents and then use whatever information they have there to kind of, using birth records only, to kind of make up my ethnicity. To the point I thought, yeah, they're not going to get this.
So before we look at Kimmie's results, let's jump into mine, because like I said, my mum had done it, and actually my auntie from my other side had already done the Ancestry DNA, so I knew that it was going to find me straight away. However, there was a little bit of a surprise within my DNA, which I was shocked about. So just a quick little one. I was expecting a lot more of in and around Europe. I know from the Hobbs side that my great-great-grandfather was a Romany traveller, and they used to travel around across Europe, and they made their way to England eventually. So I knew that there should be, or might be, possible elements of different European countries. So let's jump into my results and have a quick look. Okay, so obviously the biggest part of my DNA, which is expected, would be English. Now, what I was actually surprised at is my English estimate is actually relatively low. It is below 50%. From my mum's side, I know there's a lot of Irish, a lot of Welsh. The funny thing is, my mum actually did it, like I said, and hers came back. She is predominantly Irish. So even though my mum was born here and my nan was born here, her grandparents and her parents were actually Irish and Welsh. So my estimate for being English is between 36 and 49%. And my auntie's results, she had a lot of French and German. Mine didn't pick up the French and German, and I had a really good conversation with the people at Ancestry DNA, and they explained how results could even be different between brother and sister very slightly, because long and short of it is, you take a random 50% from your mum and a random 50% from your dad. So obviously my mum being being predominantly Irish, I've got quite a large estimate of Irish, which is there, 21%. Not surprised by that at all. Moving on to the next bit, which was a little bit of a surprise, was the Scottish. I'm 17% Scottish, which I didn't expect at all because I know nobody in my family who is Scottish, and the estimate range actually goes up to 24%. So the English that was ranged between 36 to 49%, there's that wiggle room where I could have had more Scottish and even less English, so that was quite interesting to see. The Welsh estimate, it popped up as 12%, but it ranges from 0 to 25%. A nice little surprise here, which I did not expect, was the Norwegian. The estimate ranges from 0 to 6%, so it could be, you know, more than 5% Norwegian. I might have to look for a Norwegian team to support.
Your mum's Norwegian, isn't she? Part Norwegian.
My mum is part Norwegian, so there's a little bit of wiggle room there, which was really good. But the one that really blew me away, which I didn't expect at all, is this little 1% or under 1% here in Central Asia. And as you can see, the estimate range is 0 to 1%, but it's predominantly around Afghanistan, Pakistan and Tajikistan, which I never thought that I would have that in me. And it just goes to show how incredible these results are, because again, I would never thought there was any Pakistan or Afghanistan in my DNA, but it just goes to show there's potentially 1% that's been passed on for generations. Yeah, there's probably some Hobbs guy living out there who's got the same surname as me.
Because look how far it is from Europe.
From Europe, yeah.
It's like on different sides completely.
But I think that's the travelling part, where they travelled through. The Hobbs started in Pakistan or Afghanistan, they made their way over and they didn't stop. They just went from Central Asia all the way across to Europe. So I was pleasantly surprised by that. You know, that is something, again, I never expected that. So I was quite pleased with my result.
Doesn't it tempt you to like do the accents? Irish?
Maybe that's why I'm good at
Scottish.
accents, because it's all in me. It's all there, you know. I can talk like that if I want to. I might start talking Irish, or I might start talking Scottish.
Might start talking now.
Or I might be in the valleys in Wales. But now it's the big one. It's the one that we were all waiting for. We threw them off the scent. Did they manage to pull it back?
Let me even log in for you guys. Okay, so now it's my turn. I was so excited for this. After months of waiting, let's see what I got.
And when we say months, they took their time
months of waiting, and I was so good with it that I even changed my email. I put an email down with the last name Hobbs, just so I have nothing linked to Kiimmy, so it all looks very different. It looks like a legit person. So let's see what he came back as.
Well, let's start off saying it definitely found out that you are African.
Do you know what? I was very pleased with
it worked.
It works. Like, at least he knows I was African without even telling them I'm African. All you do is literally like I spit sample and send it to them. And with all the information I've given them, date of birth, everything, they had nothing.
Nothing.
No clue
no records
as to who I am. They could have literally chucked anything on this paper and they would have thought it's true. So 48% Kenyan. One of my parents is lying to me because how am I 48% Kenyan? But it says it could range to 80%, so I'm very pleased with that.
Your Kenyan estimate range is 48 to 80% Kenyan. Like, you're definitely
I'm
Kenyan.
definitely Kenyan.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to focus on. I'm definitely Kenyan. So when I wear this band, it's real. It's real. And I've got a DNA test to prove it. It's real. Kenyan. I always knew it. Let me tell you what the rest are. So, Southern Bantu, which is more southern. So I'm 17% between South Africa and Botswana and Eswatini.
But again, look at your estimate here. That's where the Kenyan is reduced massively, because what it could potentially be. So one of your parents or grandparents
must be South African. Somewhere down my line, there's a South African person who has given me at least 17% South African.
If not 34. I'll
take the 17% so I could take the 48% Kenyan. But for all my South African people, did you see that? Do you see that? 17% South African?
Potentially 34.
The other ones, I'm really shocked about this, is Cameroon, Congo, Western Bantu. So 16% in that Congo Republic area, which is very high.
But look at the range on that as well. Look
very
at the
high.
Range from up to 31%. So it's very close that this sort of mix of something else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's very high.
Yeah.
It does act, for me, I feel like it means that there is someone in my family who is definitely, like along the line, who is South African or Congolese.
Or from that region, or definitely
region.
not from Kenya. I think it's a grandparent or something like that, because
Yeah.
if you've got both of those potentially going up to 31%, that's 61% of your DNA.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's a high
It's a high percentage.
It's almost half of me. The one which I wasn't shocked about, Ethiopia and Eritrea, because I knew there was going to be some Ethiopian Somalian, because my mum already told me we have a bit of Somalian in our family. So I knew those ones were coming. But I didn't know this was higher than Somalian though.
Yes, yeah.
I didn't know Ethiopian and Eritrea was going to be higher than Somalia.
Yeah.
I thought Somalia was going to be right after Kenya.
And again, up to 21% on that one as well.
Yeah, Somalia 0 to 28%.
0 to 28%.
But Somalia was 8%. But that was shocking to me, because I thought I'd go Kenya, Somalia, maybe Ethiopia.
Yeah, but if you look at the regions here, Somalia, Kenya, Ethiopia,
they're very close.
Connected. So that sort of region there is quite high in your DNA as well.
Yeah. The last one was Koshin.
Aka.
I'm going to say Mbuti, because I think in Kenya, that's how we would say in Kenya, Mbuti people, which is very old hunter-gatherer DNA. My Africans, where you at? South Sudan, Tanzania. But that is basically from ancestors who lived thousands of years ago in Africa, who are more hunter-gatherer. So that's very old DNA, which I'm very proud about. It means I could be like a, what do they call? I'm a fossil.
You're a fossil.
I'm a fossil.
You've got the fossil DNA.
I'm a fossil.
That's why it even says here it's from some of the oldest back to the first sort of human beings. And if you look at the region again, Tanzania
right
near
next to
Kenya, South Sudan near Ethiopia, so it's that sort of region, potentially up to 8%. So you've got some, you've got some strong DNA in you.
I know, wow. So from my perspective, this actually worked.
Yes.
Like from you, I felt like they could have guessed yours very easily, but there's no way they could have guessed mine.
No.
So for me, for them to come up with majority Kenyan, I feel like I think it definitely works.
And the thing is, the way they actually test these results is the more people that do it from a region, they can better see your DNA to say, okay, the bulk of people in this region have this DNA. Not many people in Kenya have actually taken the test. So to be able to pinpoint you as being Kenyan is very impressive.
Yeah, 100%. Because even tracking the ancestors, because they link you to people, if they had linked me to like a first cousin, I would have thought maybe they got my DNA and thought they're Kenyan, so link them up. But I can only find from like fifth cousin and forward, which is so far. They've only got like maybe 2% Kenyan and like 40% Asian, so they could have even given me more from them, but they haven't.
Regions,
so I do feel like this for me worked.
Yes. Definitely.
Do you think it worked?
100% worked, yeah. And it was good to see. They took their time with yours.
They did.
But
they did their job. They did their job.
They did their job.
I was very, very skeptical, but I did say that it could work. There's a chance it could work. So I might be saying all this, and then I check back in 2 weeks' time, and it tells me 90% Kenyan, 10% Zim, 10% South African, 10% Egyptian, or whatever. You never know. It could say that, so we'll see.
We'll check back in 2 weeks.
Let me know.
What will be interesting is to see
my mum,
your mum do it, because I want to see what hers comes out of where does this extra areas that are quite high come from?
Yeah.
Because it's close. It's not generations back. It's 1 or 2 generations back.
Yeah.
So it'd be quite good to see.
I think that's why my mum is nervous about doing it. She's scared to find out how Kenyan is very insignificant.
Yeah, yeah.
She'll probably come back 80% South African, 20% Kenyan, and she'll look at me
but looking at it though, I think you've got like an even split from both sides.
I do.
Because some are north, some are south. Because I think, you look at my Irish and Welsh, they were sort of these figures, which is quite a lot considering my mum is predominantly Irish. So
that's true.
So it's very close. I think maybe both your mum and dad are only half Kenyan
and half
something else.
I'm as South African as you are Irish.
Yes.
And your mum is Irish.
Yeah.
So that means one of my parents is predominantly South African or somewhere there.
And that's what I mean. It's interesting, yeah.
So when I dance to Jerusalem, hey, when I do my South African dances, it means culture.
You're connecting with your
culture,
people.
My roots.
Brilliant. So there it is from us, guys. We hope you all enjoyed this week's video. If you did, make sure you like, comment, share and subscribe.
And that's it. We shall come back to you with another episode when my mum does it and finds out she might not be Kenyan.
Yeah, that'll be the real one. Okay, guys. That's it from us. Take care and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. It's time to vogue it out. Should we vogue it out?
Yeah, let's vogue it out.
Let's go. And... Caught it!
Caught it!